It's the final round of draft. Marshall and Paul, take it away.
Yeah, thank you, Mira. Welcome back to the booth here at the Magic Gathering World Championship. Marshall Sutcliffe with Paul Cheon, and we are entering into the last round of Limited here at the tournament. We've been talking about it all weekend, but critical rounds here, including this third one. This makes up a bigger portion of the tournament than it would at, say, a Pro Tour, and that means that the Limited rounds have even more riding on them. These two players, Sam Pardee and Toni Portolan, looking to close out the pod. Check out those records, 8-1. The winner will be the co-leader of the tournament. But perhaps just as important, Paul, the winner here will come away with 9 wins, and that's one away from 10.
Yeah, that is absolutely huge. That means they get 4 shots in Standard to kind of lock in their seat into the top 8. Toni Portolan has been incredibly hot this year. He was already one of the front runners in the Player of the Year race, and now, I mean, sitting here at 8-1, just a couple of wins away from a top 8.
That's right. If Toni does manage to make it into the top 8, that will put him in a very good position to win Player of the Year. Not mathematically deterministic, but we're talking like some weird stuff have to happen if he top 8s to not get Player of the Year. And I got to say, the winner of this match, they have to feel like I mean, it would take an abject disaster for them not to make it.
Right.
4 shots. And remember, these are the players that went 3-1 or 4-0 yesterday in Standard.
Yeah.
So, you know, they got a really good chance.
Yeah, and I know Sam feels really good about his chances if he has a good record going into the Standard portion, going 4-0 yesterday, and their team might have the highest win rate. They were something like 68 or 69% win rate with their version of Is It Lessons.
Against this field, that is absolutely stunning. You see Sam lead off with arguably his best card. He's got Suki on the battlefield already. Normally, she's accompanied by friends, but, you know, perfectly fine on her own here, too.
Yeah, ideally, you want to have a 2-drop in play before you get her in play so you can get in for a nice attack. But, of course, always great to have 2 copies of this powerful legend here.
Interesting. Speaking of powerful legends, here's Iroh T-Master. And what actually happens, Tony shortcut a little bit here, is but you get the food token, and then on your combat, you can give a permanent to your opponent to make an ally token, and then you get +1/+1 counters on it equal to the number of permanents that you own, but your opponent controls. Tony was like, here, have a food.
Right.
And it's, in this case, a tea, a little cup of tea.
Yeah, if you want to use it again, then there's a real cost, right? Now you can start giving them lands, which is not necessarily the best thing to do unless you have the most aggressive of draws here. Sam, 3 copies of Yip Yip in the deck, definitely representing it here with this extremely aggressive attack. And now Tony's thinking, well, if I triple block, I mean, you need to have 2 Yip Yips. And that's exactly what Sam has.
As it turns out, Sam's got not all the Yips, but most of them.
And Tony has to probably figure this out, too. He's like, why would Sam attack me here if he only has 1 Yip Yip? That doesn't make any sense. So it feels like you probably just need to take the 2 damage here. I just think you're leaving yourself vulnerable to too big of a blowout. I don't think Sam would be making a bluff attack here with the Suki, one of the best cards in his deck.
Yeah, you also always have to ask yourself, what is Sam in this case gaining from this? And it's like 2 damage, like,
yeah,
it matters. You know, we all know that these aggro decks can't afford to give away damage, but the risk that Sam would be taking here to get 2 damage through if he ended up throwing away Suki or even a Yip Yip and a Suki just to get rid of 2 of these creatures just doesn't really add up. Oh, Tony's going for the triple block, and there's the double Yip Yip from Sam Pardee, and it's going to be a sweeper.
Right, and also keep in mind, because Suki is in play, that food actually got converted into a token here, because it's whenever any other permanent leaves the battlefield, you sack the food, and now Sam also has a 2/1 token in play. Brutal turn here for Tony.
Tony seems, though, I mean, he was aware, right? Tony knew what he was deciding here. So if that's the case, he said, worst case, you have the double Yip Yip, I can still recover, and that's what he's going to do here. He's got the Foggy Swamp Vinebender now.
Now, Sam goes land number 5, though. Earth Kingdom Soldier is actually quite nice here because now you can still attack with both of your creatures here, getting in for 6 damage, it looks like, against the 4/3, which doesn't really block the board very well.
This is a disaster for Toni Portolan at this point. The other thing that Tony may have been thinking when he went for the triple block is, if Sam has 2 copies of Yip Yip, am I going to like take 2 here? He gets to continue curving out. I'm just going to lose to them later anyway.
Yeah, it's kind of a tough spot. I mean, of course, the alternative line is just not, block with other creatures and not leave yourself vulnerable to, a 3 for 2 that you saw kind of in that instance. But yeah, this is a really, really tough spot here for Toni. On the back foot, your opponent just has 3 great threats on the battlefield. And Sam found a Wartime Protesters that he can also play to get in for, I guess that thing would attack for 5 this turn.
It would, yeah. Yeah, the other factor to consider, with Toni's triple block is if he has mana up on a later turn, that is a much riskier play from Sam.
Okay, and Sam does not want to actually lose the Protesters because it has an extremely powerful passive ability there in your red-white allies deck, putting counters on any extra creatures. So both of these creatures are getting in. The 1 token is currently a 3/2, but remember, you're not losing too much on that exchange. When you lose the token, it kind of replaces itself with that Suki that's in play. It actually gets bigger. Oh, no, it's exactly the same.
That one
rather.
happened to have a counter,
because but it gets a counter off the Wartime Protesters because it's
exactly.
In play.
So it's a free roll there for Sam.
And Toni's down to 10, and if Sam's got the Sun Warriors next turn. By the way, that thing will have haste.
And a counter?
Yeah, and then it can make more. It can make more allies with. It's going to have Firebending 5.
Yes.
When it attacks next turn.
Yeah, Toni has to do something huge here to help stabilize this board. Tough, hard-headed teacher.
The issue is that
Yuyan archers. That's good to add to the board, but
the issue is there were no good lessons to get back from the graveyard. No spell actually. So just playing a couple of creatures to put onto the battlefield. But Sam's going to attack in for so much damage this following turn.
You saw the Yuyan archers did rummage away a forest. Oh, there's no good news on that one.
Oh
Toni.
yeah, we are going to see a little bit of a head shake here potentially. This is big.
Well, this game has gone about as badly as you could hope for if you're in Toni Portolan's seat. Sam has had everything that he's represented.
And Sam just basically thinking, how aggressive do I want to be? Is Toni behind enough on board where I can maybe even just attack with the Suki and be willing to throw that away just to try to push extra points of damage in? Because Toni's got 3 blockers for this turn, so if he blocks the 3 biggest creatures here, the token and the Suki will get through. All right.
Once again, Sam's going to play it a little on the safer side.
Of course, yeah.
4, 6, 5, 6. 5, 6.
Sam has perfect information here as Toni's completely tapped out.
Yeah, the Earth Kingdom Soldier attacking as a 4-powered Vigilance creature, so that would trade with the Foggy Swamp Vinebender. And the other creature being, I believe, a 4/6 here as well. So yeah, just a really tough spot. Even if Sam doesn't have a trick, and he doesn't, Toni would have to trade away some of his creatures. Sam would replace one of these creatures, even if Toni makes good blocks, with an extra token. And remember, 5 mana floating. You can also generate an extra token with the attacker there.
Yeah, Sun Warriors can do it too. It's got to be tough to be in Toni's seat here. He's been faced with tough blocking decisions basically every turn of this game. And even if you kind of work it through in your mind, okay, worst case scenario, it's bad.
Yeah.
Like best case scenario, still not very good for you.
Yes.
This is a good example of that.
Right, so
the trade actually works, but somehow Sam just gets to replace most of his board.
I mean, this is the power of Suki. This just.
I mean, it's art. He actually ended up with more power on board post blocks, right? Like 6 power now.
Yeah, and I don't know if Toni has anything like a sweeper in here for him to come back, so I can't really think of anything he can have here.
Nah.
That is a good card. He is kind of splashing for this Abandoned Air Temple, but I think this is just a little too much on the battlefield here. You can even run out the Fire Nation Cadets. And does he have the mana to activate? That might be a green-white land. He does have the...
It is a green-white,
Okay, so... Yeah, so to be fair, making a creature does give you another chump blocker here.
And he can go block, 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 and then activate the temple.
Yeah.
This is getting a little interesting.
It is. It is. Sam has the ability to now make 2 tokens this turn by attacking with the Sun Warriors, as they'll have access to 6 mana.
The only good news for Toni is that Sam
main
is
phase, sure.
he's going to main phase so he can actually attack with this
Yeah,
one.
haste, and Sam's just kind of running the numbers here. Remember, Tony's at 5 lives.
Yeah, does he have lethal here?
He likely does here. I mean, through 5 blockers.
7
Yeah.
red.
5 things
5,
get through.
yeah.
Yeah. 6 damage will come through. 2 2/2s, pumped up by the Suki. 5 blockers.
That's
Tony
lethal.
doesn't have a removal spell.
Yeah, Toni needed to have a lightning strike here, and even then he would lose basically his whole board after blocks because he couldn't strike plus activate the abandoned air temple.
Yeah. And Tony just making sure that he's dead here.
I think Sam's ready to sideboard.
Yeah. Sam is a very quick with math like this. He knows.
Wow. Game 1, convincing to Sam Pardee there. Toni Portolan put up a fight. You can see some of the cards that he has that could pull him ahead in a game, but when you start off that far behind, it's just very difficult.
Yeah, I mean, this is just kind of an ideal draft. We've seen a lot of these decks that, you know, playing a few filler cards, right? You kind of have to scrap together a deck. Tony's deck certainly is on that end of the spectrum, right? Just kind of a full Naya deck, playing all the colors. But Sam just looks like he has an excellent red-white aggressive deck here. Doesn't happen that often.
It doesn't, and it's really difficult to put together at a table like the one that we saw. Remember, this is all from the same table that we watched Derek draft at. Like, imagine him banging his head against the wall just trying to scrap together that blue-black deck, and now take a look at what Sam has. And, you know, look at Tony's deck, too. It's got some scrappy cards, let's say, in it as well.
Yeah, the Foggy Swamp Vinebender, not a card that you love to put into your decks just because of the sizing.
He's
vulnerable to
splashing
Lightning
around a
Strike.
bunch.
Yeah.
You see the Iroh and Ostrich Horse both go into the yard, but he did hit a land.
Sam would love to find that second white source here, as he does have the Suki in hand, but 2 mountains and a plains here.
Yeah, he's going to be limited to 1 spell a turn for the foreseeable future until he finds that second plains, too. All white cards in hand here for Pardee.
And Sam thinking, is it worth it for me to trade now, or do I keep the Disciple back and wait until, hopefully, I find white source number 2 to run Suki out before I attack?
There's the Foggy Swamp Vinebender there for Portolan. Was it a second plane?
No, it was a 3rd mountain here for Sam Pardee.
So which of his white cards does he want to cast? He can't cast Suki, but he can pick from any of the others.
Yeah, he does have the trick there in the Yip Yip. And it's weird. I mean, you could get in for 2 damage, but then you take 7 on the attack back if you make the Pretending Poxbearers into an unblockable creature.
It is tough to win a lot of games when you...
Yeah. Although, it's like, are you actually even going to block there? So we'll see. So Sam just biding his time. Actually, the game that he lost in the previous round was just a game where he just drew all white sources and couldn't cast the other half of his deck here. So, you know, if he can't find that second white source soon enough, being kind of bottlenecked on that white mana can really slow him down enough to the point where Toni, which, you know, could have a pretty strong late game, especially if he can get cards like the Abandoned Air Temple going, could give him the time to take over this game.
There's Lightning Strike to take out the captain. Boy, a plains here would be nice, though. It would give Sam a turn to either double spell or cast Suki and then double spell the next turn.
Oh, and he does have the Abandoned Air Temple there and the plains. And he does have a Fire Nation Cadets, although everything else is a land in Tony's hand. He is a little bit flooded, but he has one of the best mana sinks in the format.
Yeah, this is beautiful. I mean, 3 creatures plus an active temple, as long as you're not, like, almost dead, is usually kind of enough.
And then now you can pass and grow your... Oh, no, you would have to tap out on your turn, because it's a sorcery speed effect, the Vinebender there. It's a 5 mana effect with water bending.
Yeah, it's a your turn effect.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's actually going to send in here, so he will not have the ability to pump anyway.
I got a 16.
But Sam's content to just take the hit. Can he find a plains here and really unlock his hand?
Yeah, it's either you want a plains or a lightning strike or something along those lines. And he
did it a plains, Paul.
He does find the plains, and so now we could be looking at a racing situation here. Suki, not the best card to have when you're playing a defensive game, right? Because you don't get those tokens on your opponent's turn.
It's also interesting to note here, you know, Sam doesn't know about the Abandoned Air Temple.
Right?
Yeah. Like, Sam may be much happier about trading if he did know that, but not knowing it, he's going to take the kind of middle line here, but he does get to double spell.
And this does look like a double spell type situation here.
He's
Running
gonna
out Jung
yip.
Jung's Deserters and also keep up the Yip Yip here to try to get that Vinebender off the battlefield.
He also could build out the invasion reinforcements and then follow with Suki
Right,
and have a
yes.
huge crackback.
And that's what it looks like he's trying to set up for. If Toni doesn't find anything, yeah, he just runs out the Air Temple. That might just be his only line this turn.
Right. I mean, if you're flooding,
Yeah.
it's not the worst.
This is a lot, though.
And he is going to just sit
Yeah.
back and try to lean on this Air Temple. It usually does get the job done.
It does.
Can Sam overwhelm it here? He still hasn't really found much in the way of removal.
Yeah, but he does have this Suki here. There is a mountain. Plains would have been preferable to be able to also cast Yip Yip this turn, but I mean, of course, Suki is still extremely potent here. You can actually make something unblockable first with the Deserter and then play the Suki. For example, you can make a 2-power creature unblockable. Then you run out the Suki, and then you can get in for 3 points of unblockable damage.
This is a huge inflection point for this game because this is the point where Toni gets to start activating Abandoned Air Temple, and he basically gets to find out if his board can hold off the board that Sam is building up or not.
And Sam actually just, okay, because
Unblockable?
it's,
Can be unblockable.
you can't.
Yeah, not anymore.
See the sequencing there that I just talked about.
You walked us through it, Paul.
Yeah, yep. That's unfortunate. Right.
But he's going to send in
Yeah.
because now he sees the Air Temple,
Right.
and he knows I can't just sit here and build up a board.
Exactly. Now remember,
These are
you
two
only get 1 token off the Suki ability. It triggers once per
Maximum,
turn, maximum.
okay.
So, you know, if you kill all the creatures, then Sam would only get 1 creature left over. But, you know, this is still decent. Like, all of these creatures have at least 2 power. Now, the Fire Nation Cadets would become a 3 toughness creature, and the Vinebender would also be able to eat 1 of these creatures. So if Toni can eat 2 of these creatures, Sam would only get 1 back and still grow his team. Might want to keep the Ostrich Horse back because if you pump it up this turn, this still only has 2 toughness. If you wait 1 turn and take the damage now, next turn, you activate the temple again, all of a sudden you can block the invasion reinforcement.
Right, now you have a 3 toughness blocker, which is so much better.
Counters? Yeah.
Okay, here comes the
So
activation.
you're going to take 5.
Down to
I'm gonna
13.
Get a new ally.
Get 1 replacement ally. Lose this one.
Get some damage through. How much came through? 5?
5.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Go.
But we are kind of getting to that point
This is-
where the attacks start just disappearing, although Toni continues drawing lands here.
Yeah, that's one
So
of the
I
ways
think
that Sam
16,
could get
13.
there is if he can find a removal spell for one of these blockers, and if Toni just keeps having this horrendous flood, I mean, triple forest in
So
hand
rough.
for him, so brutal. He doesn't
only
need
on your turn,
that
right?
much here.
Right. But Toni is not really in a position to attack here.
I think he's wondering if he is.
Oof.
You know, because he's looking at the board and he's
I
maybe saying, okay, if I can apply maximum pressure, remember, any blocks that Sam does is just horrible for him.
So if the Vinebender attacks, it's a 5/4, and then if you use a land, it would be a 6/5, right?
Yeah.
And then Sam either has a decision to double block or just take the 6 damage here. Oh, yeah, and
Okay.
What? He's just going to do it now, I guess.
just main phasing it to play around some burn spells that Sam could draw off the
Oh,
top.
you're saying he's doing it now in case Sam would say actually in response?
Sure, yeah,
So
yeah,
he's
yeah.
before he commits to the attack. Because you can do that anytime you
Sure,
want.
right,
So
right,
normally
right.
You tend to wait, but you know, sometimes you play a blocker first main phase, and if
Yeah.
they counter it, you keep your creature back.
Right.
If they don't, then you say, okay, now I can attack. It's something like that.
And remember, Yip Yip does give your allies flying, so that's another way. If somehow Toni manages to stabilize at a very, very low life total,
Can't
Sam
attack.
can sneak some damage through and win with that Yip Yip in hand.
Right.
Ooh, but another land here for Sam, that was crucial. Now we're just going to give something unblockable here, get at least 2 points of damage in, and if Tony's still kind of playing that game of, hey, I just can't attack right now, like Sam might be able to steal it here with the Deserter's Disciple plus the Yip Yip.
Ooh, twin blades for Portolan.
Okay, that's an interesting one.
That
now,
has to change the math.
right,
here.
because now if Sam goes, hey, I don't block, you have the chance to just kill your opponent out of nowhere with the Twin Blades, because this is a card that gives double strike.
That's what I see.
Can he block
I have,
it?
on Yip Yap, the
On Yip Yip, he wants to know.
Oracle text.
As you can see here, Twin Blades, flash equipment spell. Enters a battlefield, you can equip it to a creature, it gets double strike until end of turn. Now you can use this offensively. If you're really behind, you can even use it defensively here if needed. Although right now,
So is it only the Pox Bears that can block this Vinebender?
This is text.
because it can't be blocked by creatures with 2 or less, and the Poxbearer does have 3 power. Now remember, Sam also has a Yip Yip in hand, so if needed, he could pump up something, but I imagine now Sam's thinking, why is he attacking me? Like, Sam knows about the Twin Blades in the deck.
Is it lethal if he goes Twin Blades and activate? Is it 16?
It's currently sitting at 6
7,
power.
8, that's
it would
16.
it would be exactly lethal, yes.
Oh, so if Sam says no blocks, it's GG. Because
Right.
we can see that Sam doesn't have anything to do if
Right.
if he chooses not to
And
block.
you don't lose that much from just blocking with the pretending Poxbearers, right? Because it kind of replaces itself.
In fact,
And-
it's arguably an upgrade because you can make that unblockable at some point.
Right, yeah. And yeah, I do like this black block here from Sam. And given that Toni doesn't have another creature here, you know, Sam can get to the point where he thinks he can get in for potentially close to a lethal attack.
Yeah, you can go.
You'll notice Tony's been playing every land out of his hand, and it's really important that he does.
Yep.
He wants to make sure to keep activating the Air Temple. He can also crack a land for a card.
Okay.
And then also he may want a Twin Blades plus Air Temple.
Oh, Sam did draw something, actually.
What did he hit?
Wow!
Oh, no, off the top of the
That's
library.
brutal.
He finds Path to
Oh
Redemption.
my gosh, that was Tony's path to victory. The Vinebender was, plus the Twin Blades, was what he needed. By the way, you make 2 tokens. You make
You
2
get 2
tokens
off
off of
of
this
that?
because you sacrifice the Path to
Are you
Redemption,
kidding
and Suki
me?
now triggers. Oh my goodness,
So
what a
he
draw.
had 7 mana, cast it, activate it all in one turn.
Yeah, 7 mana, kill a creature, make 2/2/1s is what happened there.
That is unbelievable. That's a Yuan Archer, so
Okay,
that
hey.
1 forest left over
Helps you
does
find
get to get
action.
discarded.
Right. Yep.
Okay.
Of course, he just finds more lands because that's all Tony can seem to do this game. It's
Right.
unbelievable.
Yeah, and the Archer.
He had a real shot to win this game a while ago if he would have
absolutely.
found some spells.
Like, if Sam doesn't draw the Path to Redemption, does Sam read Tony for the Twin Blades and have to defensively Yip Yip to block and not die? Like, you don't know.
Yip Yip pre-blocks
Right.
block. I mean, wild. Especially when Yip Yip seems to be one of the ways that Sam can just snatch this game.
Oh, and
Oh, he drew
wow.
Avatar's Wrath. That's really
All right,
funny.
so is this enough here? If you block the 3 biggest creatures, that's 8 damage coming in, right? Assume the 4 tokens don't get blocked, because the 3 creatures on the right would. That would be 8 damage coming in, and then you have the Yip Yip, which would be
Non-token or-
10 damage. So that puts Tony.
any
Tony's at
permanent.
9 life. There's a Yip Yip that could be lethal, but keep in mind, Twin Blades gives you double strike on either turn. So if you block the Suki, cast the Twin Blades, put it on the creature blocking the Suki, all of a sudden, your creatures don't get the +1/+0 effect, and Sam would not have a lethal attack this turn.
Wow. So that has the effect of taking 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 power off the board if you kill Suki.
Right, because Sam thinks this might be a lethal attack here. Look,
And he's going for it. There's the Yip Yip, but Tony has something to say about it.
Twin Blades here, so big.
There's Twin Blades on the Ostrich Horse.
So only 7 damage will go through this turn, I believe.
Damage, this dies. Then regular damage. You take 4, 5, 6.
4, 6.
6 damage, excuse me, go down to 3.
So the question is, like,
Trade.
Tony doesn't have a crackback for lethal, though, right?
I don't think so.
The double strike only lasts this turn.
Right, but
Otherwise,
it
it's
is
just
it is a
+1/+1.
6-power creature, and there's a Fire Nation Cadets, which is a 3-power creature.
He didn't have enough to activate.
Okay, is there a lesson? Does he have a lesson?
Off, hard-headed
Toph?
teacher.
Is there a lesson in Tony's graveyard, though? I don't even think he's cast... Has he cast a spell yet? Because you can get an instant or sorcery, but I don't know if there's one in his graveyard. Now, you can still, of course, just play it. and
Didn't
play
he have a
another
lightning
creature.
strike?
I'm
I
at
Did he?
3.
Did he?
think he did earlier this game. Well,
Okay.
we're going to find out right now.
All right.
Because if he does...
That does look like a lightning strike, actually, yes. Oh,
man.
my goodness.
Is that enough for lethal?
Right, because when you cast a spell, you get to animate one of those lands to get in as well.
Somehow, even though Tony's drawn like 12 lands this game, he needs all of them.
I don't think it's quite lethal. I mean, this is what an attack for 6 on the right,
9.
3 on the left. That's 9 damage.
And then 10 if he can get the land.
10. The Abandoned Air Temple is 2 more damage coming
and then it's
in. That's
11, 12, 13,
and then
but then
Lightning
he's
Strike
tapped
is
out.
3 more damage, so that's 14 damage.
Right. And then he'd need to either activate the temple or do the strike, but he can't do both, I don't think. Well, we'll let Tony do the math here. But it looks like he's maybe just a couple short.
And what's really interesting is when Sam...
But if that's the case, that's not that bad for him, right? Yeah, he's just going to pass a turn.
Well, I mean, what's really interesting is when Sam had that Avatar's Wrath, I thought, oh, that's probably not going to do much. But now he might have to play this defensively.
Even though it's really bad for him.
Yeah.
Counters? Yep.
And Sam just passes a turn, so maybe he's just going to soak up a bunch of damage with his tokens and then go for Avatar's Wrath.
Yeah, and now this is slipping away. Wow, the double strike on the Twin Blades being so relevant here. And now Tony has the ability to not only kill a blocker, you can then animate a land, and then you can pump all of those things with the Abandoned Air Temple. Does Sam have a Lightning Strike or something in his deck? That would be huge.
Team Avatar is a removal spell, not a Lightning Strike, though.
It is a removal
that
spell,
one cannot go upstairs.
but it is not that effective. It can't kill anything in play right now, which is the problem, because everything's going to have 5 toughness. And he knows about the Lightning Strike in Tony's hand.
Oh, that's Iroh's demonstration. Do 1 damage to each of your creatures.
Everything. I mean, this has got to be lethal at this point.
It is.
Yeah.
It's 5, 10.
Yeah, plenty.
Yeah.
Plenty
Oh
enough,
my
and Toni
goodness.
Portolan somehow finds a way to victory. I think he literally drew 12 lands against the aggro deck.
Well,
Now, to be fair, there was a lot of lands over there for Pardee as well.
Yeah, if Sam could have found an extra point of damage here, or an extra creature even, that might have been enough there.
Wild game.
What a comeback from Tony.
Double strike for the win. Normally when you say that, it means I kind of got my opponent with it.
Defensive double strike for the win.
Exactly. That's Zhang's Deserters.
What a curve here, by the way, from Sam Pardee. You got the Zhang's Deserters into Treetop Freedom Fighters into Wartime Protesters.
Wow. And then that Avatar's Wrath again.
Yeah. I am not a huge fan of that one in general. Sam might actually, this is actually an interesting question. Do you hold off on the Treetop Freedom Fighters? If you think the game's going to go a little bit longer and you don't have great attacks this turn, get the Protesters in play first, hope it doesn't die. Then when you play out the Treetop Freedom Fighters, you're basically you get 2 additional power and toughness out of the deal.
Definitely worth considering, but he does decide, I just cannot afford to do nothing this turn. And he casts the Fighters. So back over to Portolan.
And Tony has an Ostrich Horse, I believe, for the play here. So if it's a land, he wants to keep it on top.
That's a land, yep. Ooh, but 2 burn spells go away.
Yeah, and
I guess that's not the worst place for
Iroh's
them to top,
demonstration
though.
really strong against Sam's deck, as he has multiple copies of the Treetop Freedom Fighters in his deck.
Right. 1-sided Wrath in last game.
And here comes the Protesters, but do you even have a good attack? No.
No, but this is an interesting setup for Avatar's Wrath.
Right?
Right?
Yeah.
Because now all of a sudden you can leave the Protesters behind, you get in a nice big hit, and then when you start casting your stuff off of Airbend, they're bigger, badder, and better.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine this is a great opportunity to play it right
Look,
here.
If Avatar's Wrath
this is the best
good,
Avatar's Wrath
this is
I'll
it.
ever see. Yes.
Oh, and he's even got a
He drew
Momo
the
he can
Momo?
cast too.
Oh, man. So that's 6 damage coming in. And remember, Tony can't play these creatures until the next turn cycle.
That probably is just going to win the game here.
I mean, this is 6 damage coming in. Everything's going to have haste unless Tony can find a way to get Wartime Protesters off the battlefield this turn.
Yeah, he's got the Jet Freedom Fighter, but with no board, it looks so much worse. He'd need like a second copy of Lightning Strike or something.
Right. I think his best play here is just Ostrich Horse plus Lightning Strike, which is okay, but when you can't deal with the Protesters, and next turn we have, what?
We have at
3
least
allies
2
entering the battlefield?
Yes, at least 2 cards coming off of Airbend.
Maybe getting a Plains here. It has to be planes, right? 2 force already in play. Oh, considering making it into a 4-power creature to trade with the Wartime Protesters, given that he's got 2 lands in hand.
Right.
So yeah, I think that actually makes a lot of sense, as this is a clear indication that he just doesn't have an answer to the Protesters and needs to keep his life total super high just so he can cast all those creatures that are in the airbend zone.
Yeah, you know, if that Ostrich Horse can hold back the 4/4, it does make a huge difference. It also allows Toni to leverage the lightning strike against something and really kind of buy him that time.
Right, and I don't think he's made a land drop for turn. Oh, okay. Looks like he's going to go for the land here. Now, with the mountain in hand, and you're going to have 6 lands in play next turn, you can still cast the jet at some point if you need, because you have the land that filters, right? You have mountain, and the filter land, so you could run that out. But yeah, so actually does make it a 4-power creature.
This feels very precarious for Toni, but that's just the spot he's in.
Oh, double treetop freedom fighters here?
So he's going to put 4 creatures.
Oh my gosh, that's 10 power in
10
play.
power of haste?
10 haste power. I don't think Toni can come back from this.
No way. This is way
so
too
much damage.
This is all. I mean, he may even just attack with everything here.
Oh, he's definitely going to attack with everything.
Like, I don't think he cares about the Protesters that much at this point.
No. I mean, the damage has been done at this point, right?
Is it? It's not lethal, right?
Well,
It's
you block the 4/4, and then you lightning strike a 3/2, and then you take 2, 4, 7, 9 damage, go down to 5.
Right.
This one, right? They're both 3/2s. Yeah. The other one. Yep. So take 9.
Go to.
Down to 5 is Toni
5.
Portolan. Sam Pardee perhaps on the verge of 9-1, 1 match win away from a top 8 here at the World Championship. Toni, can you find something to get out of this mess?
Now, Toni can play 3 creatures this turn, right? 6 mana. All those creatures that have that are airbended cost 2 mana to play. So just going to play the 3 biggest things that he can this turn. Yeah, he's like, all right. I'm going to activate the now he's going to get the land. Oh, that's a good one to get.
But is the game going to still be going on by the time that's relevant?
So nothing has haste, but the Wrestlers does have reach. So that Momo, it's not a free attack, right? It's a flyer, but it does have reach. And nothing gets haste. But if Sam can find a well-timed removal spell, he finds it.
He does. It's Team Avatar. That will kill any of these creatures.
That kills the reach creature. Right, you basically kind of channel that. You can also just cast it and forces the chump block on the reach creature as well. So there's a lot of different approaches you can take here.
You can. He's going to play it extra safe, get the creature down first. It won't be relevant here.
2-turn clock.
And he's just going to kill it.
Yeah, you can block these 2 and then you take 5.
Oh yeah, he takes 5. This is just lethal, of course.
But he just cast one of them, right?
No. The 3/4 will die.
Oh,
the
I see.
3/2 and the 2/2 get blocked by the other 2 creatures. Momo attacks for 3, and an unblocked token gets through, and Toni is entirely tapped out.
No
Team
options
Avatar off the top here for the win for Sam Pardee to put him at 9-1.
Wow, you said he needed a removal spell, just had to find something, and he absolutely found it. Double block, and that's 5 damage coming across. Sam Pardee is 1 match win away from securing that top 8 spot. For those of you that are just joining us, we're just finishing up the draft round. We've still got more draft to bring you, but we have a situation where when the player reaches their 10th win here, they lock it up.
Right.
And that's why this was so important for both of these to get this draft trophy out of the feature pod, and it ends up being Sam Pardee. And by the way, there's good news for Sam Pardee fans out there, because he's got one of the best constructed decks in the room that he gets to lean on to try to get that 1 win.
I mean, their deck has been performing beautifully. They are close to a 70% win rate with that deck. I'm sure even Sam kind of coming into the draft, he was probably just thinking, hey, look, if I just 2-1, I'm in such good shape because I absolutely love my standard deck. He just needs 1 win in the next 4 rounds to secure his spot in the top 8.
Really great stuff from Sam Pardee, 1 step closer. We're going to take a short break here from the Magic World Championship. When we come back, we've got more Magic for you. Don't go anywhere. And welcome back to coverage here of the Magic World Championship. Look at that trophy. That is the sweetest trophy I've ever seen.
I want to win one of those.
Wow. That is stunning. That is part of what our players are playing for here this weekend. That's Paul Chiano, Marshall Sutcliffe. Thank you so much for joining us for coverage of Limited. We have more to bring you here. You know, we typically will follow these pods as when you start off with 8 players in a bracket, there can only be one winner after 3 rounds. And that's what we like to show you here. And we've got more of that to bring you right now. In fact, we have an all Japan finals in another pod. It's Kenta Masukado versus Akira Shibata. As you can see them facing off against each other. They have different records, 7-2-1 versus 6-2-1. So there's a draw there for Kenta, but very close and very much in the mix. But the pressure's on. You know, the players we just saw, they had one loss. You know, Toni picked up the loss there, and it's like, well, if he puts together a nice run, he still has a very good shot at top 8. These players, a little less wiggle room, to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, we're talking about a tournament with 14 rounds. You know, we talk about 10 being the magic number. That allots you 4 losses. Once you get to loss number 5, then you have, you know, we're talking about a world where maybe you can make it in tiebreaks, but it's really, really going to be tough. So, you know, especially for Kenta with the draw already, a loss here will be brutal for him.
Yeah, Akira actually picked up game number 1, as you can see. So we're joining in game number 2.
Oh, what is your team?
And let's see how this goes.
Oh, actually had a turn 2 play.
Yeah, cancel that order. Aang's Journey.
Maybe teamer lessons here? Does he have a mountain, or is it just straight blue-green?
Yeah, teamer lessons usually will go find the color that they don't have.
Yep.
Yes,
All
and
right.
then also add to their lesson count in the yard. Aang's Journey very much at home in this deck.
A nice Judy here from Akira. What's your record for number of Judys on the battlefield?
I think I had like 4.
I think 3 or
I'm
4
not-
is the number for me.
I'm kind of a coward. Although I will say that it stops at some point because I just was making a new one, but then just sacking it to
Right,
get
you're
the
just still
surveil.
surveilling
Yeah.
every turn, which is still very strong.
Yeah. Honestly, the reason that I had to stop making them for the most part is because of Phoenix Fleet Airship. And when you have 8 of those, the game ends very, very quickly.
I have yet to win with one of those. Sounds fun, though.
Spread your wings and fly, Chion. It's worth it. You can see a relatively slow hand for Kenta.
Yeah, Kenta actually missed the land drop
Yikes.
this turn.
Yeah, that's rough.
Oh, and there's a lion turtle, so he's kind of doing the lessons thing here, but of course, can't really afford to miss a beat. There's a lot of damage coming in this turn. That looks like a wolf bat. You can attack for 4 with the warship. Of course, Judy attacking is not going to be doing much of a thing. I think you'd probably rather just... Oh, maybe not. Maybe
No
he has
chumps
something.
allowed.
Yeah, no chumps allowed. Interesting.
Oh, but look at this.
Octopus
Octopus
form.
form as a defensive removal spell will actually get Judy off the battlefield. So Akira kind of paid a price for that.
Yeah, I'm
that
just
little
wondering.
chippy
I'm just
attack.
wondering what you're doing with that 1 mana. Unless you also have your own octopus form, there's just more value in surveilling 1 there, right? And just sacrificing a copy of the Judy that comes into play.
Well, I mean, even if Kenta didn't have the octopus form, he just says block.
Right. Yeah.
So is there more value than 0 damage? Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Well, this is a lot of damage coming in. Now, the Lion Turtle does have Vigilance and Reach, but right now, only 2 lessons in the graveyard. You need 3 to be able to turn on the Lion Turtle and give it the ability to attack or block.
Right, you get the life, you get the mana.
Yeah. It's just a
But-
solid card regardless, but you need to get 3 lessons into the yard.
Double wolf bat in the air, but remember the turtle does have reach, right? So
Yeah.
it really needs to get unlocked here.
Here's the issue, though. That's a Boomy Bash, but Boomy Bash, not a lesson.
Not a lesson.
All right, so leaning on the Geyser here, Geyser Leaper.
This is where if you're Kenta, you're just crossing your fingers and hoping that it survives.
Oh, Watery Grass.
But Akira's gonna lock it down.
Oh, double removal.
He's got lost days too.
All right, attacking in for 6 here, it seems.
Kenta immediately put it on the bottom, by the way.
Yeah, he's like, I don't want that.
Maybe doesn't even have enough mana.
Double removal turn, so big here now. So many threats to handle here for Kenta.
That's a
Ostrich
horse.
horse. I mean, do you?
Oh,
we've
no.
seen it
Oh,
before.
no.
Oh,
there it is.
okay, gets
But,
the land.
but no lesson.
But now it's a 3-1 though. Just keep that in mind, right? It's a 3-1, so doesn't block the warship that well. Probably have to double block here if the warship gets in. But Akira can also just go, hey, you know what? I'll just get into the air. Oh, and Giant Koi, if you don't have a removal effect, that can also get in for a ton of damage.
So we are going to see the double block here. That will clean off the board again for Masukado.
But this is a lethal attack next turn from
Absolutely.
Akira.
This is
Kenta's down
just
to 9.
it.
Does he have anything?
I see a waterbending scroll.
Was that a Guru? No, that was not a Guru Patik.
I mean, something to block would at least let you survive.
Yeah, you need a reach creature.
Oh, wait, but it has to be able to block flyers, doesn't it?
Right, that's what I mean. You have 2 flyers and the Giant Koi is unblockable. That's just 9 damage coming in. There is a Boomy Bash. There's 6 lands. Can't kill Giant Koi. 7 toughness. 1
That
land
is
short
rough.
of killing the Giant Koi with the Boomy Bash.
And I think Masukado knows, okay, I can Boomy Bash a Wolf Bat, but, I mean, there's 2 clues. You'll take 7.
He wants the game to go along, too. He's got a Planetarium of Wan Shi Tong in his hand, too, but he just doesn't have the time to actually play it here. That's it!
And he's just going to give up. That is Akira Shibata picking up the win 2-0 to win that pod and improve to 8-2. And I got to tell you, if you're coming back into the constructed round and you like your deck and you're 8-2, you're feeling pretty good there. You got to go 50-50.
Yeah, just got to win half your matches, and that's got to be a great feeling here. Of course, also winning your pod is also a fantastic feeling, and that deck just played out very, very nicely. And, this is still a punishing format. You can do a lot of cool things, but if you still miss a beat, you still miss a land drop, right? This is still Magic the Gathering. You can get tempoed out, and that's what happened there.
Yeah, anything can happen. We've got another pod finals to bring you here where we have Mitchell Tamblyn facing off against Seth Manfield. As we join, we're going to join with Manfield up a game. And actually, these players have the same records as the prior 6-2-1 versus 7-2. There's a former world champion. You might have heard of him.
We haven't even been following Seth at all, right? He must have started out kind of slow.
So he actually started off 0-2, Paul. The ultimate bumpy start to your draft, and then he just decided he's had enough of that. Maybe he got a cup of coffee.
That's incredible.
Some oatmeal or something.
Could just run it back. I mean, Seth Manfield, previous world champion, no stranger to having very, very deep runs at events like this.
Unbelievable to be able to just rattle that many wins off.
Yeah, and limited. I mean, he's great at both things, but certainly known to have just one of the best limited players around.
He is, yeah. He kind of made his bones at limited back in the day, and then I guess at some point realized he can just play this game.
All right, little Boros aggressive deck here from Seth Manfield as well.
Yeah, fairly tame start for both players.
Yeah.
You see the Otter Penguin on the other side.
3 islands, so Mitch has not found the second color source. I guess could be mono blue. Oh, and there is a water bending scroll.
That is a hint towards the mono blue.
Yeah. Now that is a card that can be very, very nice, but it's probably at its worst against a Boros aggressive strategy.
Absolutely. And that's why you see Mitchell excitedly offer the block here. Hey, let's do this.
So the card that you can be thinking about is, I guess, Octopus Form. That's really it, right? Yep.
Sure.
Going for the Twin Blades here. Get to see it again.
I gotta say that it's just not that bad for Mitchell, though, right? Like, yeah, he loses his card, but
yeah. But if you can't put a blocker in play, then it would be rough.
Yeah, it's just a 3/3 now, though. It's not. The double strike is temporary, so it's not like he's going to get hit for 6.
Right.
But still.
But if you still treat it as, hey, I killed your creature, and my creature is still +1/+1. It's still not a bad exchange.
Absolutely. Yeah, I like Twin Blades. It's good.
Yeah. And Zuko Exiled Prince.
Card. 4.
Mitchell did more or less take last turn off to activate the waterbending scroll. I'll admit I was not planning on that. Yeah, he had 4 cards in hand. I thought maybe you could do something better, but...
Yeah, something like a Watery Grasp, for example, would have been huge. If you follow that up with a waterbending scroll activation. And if you don't have a way to deal with the Exiled Prince, I mean, that can get kind of scary, right? Firebending 3. Ooh, that is a good
Master
blocker.
Piandao, but will it survive?
That does Seth. If Seth has a removal spell here, this is a lot of damage coming in. This is 7.
a huge moment for this match. Because if Seth can get that thing out of the way, it may just be too slow for
Path to
Mitchell.
Redemption.
Oh, and he has
Iroh's
Iroh's demonstration for 4.
Yeah,
This is a
big.
disaster for Tamblyn.
7 damage coming in, 3 mana
From Firebending.
from Firebending. Couldn't
and a free
activate.
card.
Does he have a land here to play Jiang?
The Deserter. Does he have the land?
Yeah, sorry, 7.
10.
Yeah.
Seth strong suit, not keeping life totals. And there it is.
Wow.
Jiang the Deserter hits the battlefield.
This
And this is really falling apart here for Tamblyn.
Right.
You know he has inevitability. That Waterbending Scroll is now
course.
2 tap, draw a card. He could draw 2 cards a turn for the rest of the game, but it doesn't work so well when your life
No,
total is 0.
Not at all. I mean, he is technically facing a lethal attack next turn.
Wow.
With the Jiang, you can pump it up, give it that extra +1/+1 counter. So Mitchell Tamblyn needs a very, very big play this turn.
It feels like he needs like a double removal
double
spell,
removal,
something
yeah.
like that.
Perhaps an Avatar's Wrath, right? Just to kind of, you have the Waterbending Skull, or you can, you know.
Man,
clear
4/4
things
first
out. strike.
It's holding down everything. And once it disappeared, everything went away.
Okay, Benevolent River Spirit. If Seth Manfield has something like a Path to Redemption here, that would just close things out here. You can actually cast it, pay the ward, attack with Zuko, use the mana you get from the Firebending to pump the Jiang for the final point of damage. I mean, this is another kind of cross your fingers moment here, right? If you're Mitch Tamblyn. He did it last turn with the Master Pianda, and now he goes, just please,
Just
don't have
hold.
anything.
Hold. Can he stabilize this board against Seth?
Now, if Seth has nothing, he still has place. He can move the Twin Blades over to Zuko, turn it into a 5-power creature, forcing the trade, and you can also make the Jiang unblockable with the Deserter's Disciple.
That still seems like kind of a lot
Yeah,
for,
I mean,
for Mitchell to try to face down.
it's a lot of options. You know,
And that's like discounting anything that he may have in hand.
of course.
Ugh.
Yeah, paying full price for the River Spirit is not necessarily where you want to be.
No, that card is not worth the mana that you pay when you have to pay on that level.
He's tapping 2 mana. Is he just moving over the
He's
Twin
just going to
Blades?
move the blades.
Yeah. Path to Redemption, he just fires it off immediately here.
Yeah, Mitchell's tapped out, so
Okay.
Yep, moving it over.
and does he want to get Jiang the Deserter through as well?
Or do you just throw away your Disciple and just attack with everything,
Move to combat.
right?
Mm-hmm.
That's also a consideration.
Tap.
Oh, yeah, and he does.
Clear
There you go. That's the
Firebending.
other option here for Seth. It's like, look, if you want to block my Deserter's Disciple, you're going to take at least 7, potentially 8 damage here. And if
Yeah.
Seth has something like a Yip or something, he's just going to win the game.
Maximum pressure being applied by Seth every single turn.
Yeah, that's it.
And so Seth has,
3 red mana floating.
is it
Or should.
4? Does,
Oh,
Jiang
Jiang
give
also
you
has
one?
Firebending 1, you're correct. So
and then he has 3 mana, so things to do with it. First up is, Mitchell, which creature do you want to block?
right. And remember, keep in mind, Yip is a lesson. So you can actually fork the Yip. You can activate the
Oh, you're
Jiang
right.
and then Yip to basically target 2 different things. Is that cunning maneuver?
Yes,
Yep.
it is, and that is going to do it. Seth Manfield finds the win and goes from 0-2 to 8-2.
Oof. Just run the table.
If there's any one player in this field that is capable of that, it is Seth.
Yeah, I mean, look, 0-2 doesn't mean you're out of it, and Seth is absolutely proving that he can just win 2 more and just That would be insane, right? Just 0-2, 10-0, and then not even have to play out the last 2 rounds.
I mean, we've had
What a
similar
run.
versions of that happen at the World Championship
We
before,
have.
no doubt about it. All right, we're going to take a short break here as we wrap up the limited rounds. Take a look at that gorgeous first place trophy. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we'll be back at the news desk right after this.